everything changes.
Hey, good afternoon everybody. Welcome into the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel. Today's Sunday, it's August 18th, 2019, and hopefully you had a wonderful weekend. This is a story highly requested by everyone, and I should have done it yesterday. I apologize. If you didn't see the news, JCPenney and Macy's have partnered with Thredup to sell pre-owned clothing inside of their retail stores. So there's a lot to this story. I'm going to eventually move on over to my computer and show you the rest of it. But let me just give you the basic details. If you don't know the two backstories to this, Macy's and JCPenney both failing. Both 100-year-old companies that are going to go out of business. Notice I said trying to prevent going out of business versus going out of business. They are absolutely going to go out of business. Both stores, Macy's and JCPenney's. That is a fact. That is absolutely going to happen unless something insane changes course. So they started making a plan to sell pre-owned clothes with Thredup. If you don't know who Thredup is, they started as a place where you could send in clothes pre-owned. They would buy some from you. Like you would send them, 20, 30 clothes, sort of like a Plato's Closet, but through the mail. They give you this pre-owned label, you slap it on a bag, you mail in your clothes, 30 pieces, they might want 15 of them, they buy them from you, and then they send you the rest back, except most of the time, it's not worth sending the rest back, so they donate them or trash them, or I've seen people send stuff in that didn't get accepted and then see the same items for sale on their website. So who knows? Anyways, they're a through-the-mail buying company for used clothes, at which point they turn around and put them on their website and sell them out to people. So you send them your Abercrombie & Fitch jeans, they give you $2, and then they're up on their website for 15. Exactly the same as Plato's Closet, except not brick and mortar. So they are a good company. Thredup has grown leaps and bounds in the last 10 years. I think they are coming up on 9 or 10 years in existence. And so now they want to sell their third-party clothes in brick and mortar. Now this works great for them. Why? Because they don't have to sign leases and they don't have to go rent out expensive square footage real estate inside of malls, which is exactly the reason that Macy's and JCPenney's are failing. It's because the overhead, the mall leases, the brick and mortar, the employees, the electric, the insurance, the plumbing, all that stuff costs money, and e-commerce sites like Thredup don't cost money. Yeah, they've got programmers or website designers or maintenance or back end, but it's nothing, it's pennies compared to what Macy's and, no pun intended, JCPenney has to pay for overhead. So it's a great deal for Thredup. Now this is gonna start in 70 stores. It's 40 Macy's and 30 JCPenney stores in certain regions. I haven't seen the regions. I don't even think they announced which regions. But what's interesting is Thredup said they chose the regions based on sales and data points, millions of pieces of data from existing customers of theirs. And so what they've done, and I guarantee this, they've taken the sales history from their website to find which regions buy the most stuff. Let's say they sell a majority of their merchandise to Miami. So they're gonna set up brick and mortar stores in those areas knowing that consumers in that region, that city, already like their merchandise. And so they may go out to brick and mortar and buy their stuff. Now Macy's and JCPenney think that it's gonna bring more people into the store because they're gonna wanna see what this used clothes is. They're not gonna know what to expect. It's gonna be a surprise. Also, they plan on rotating that merchandise every 30 days. So let's say they put 1,000 pieces in on January 1st. By February 1st, whatever didn't sell, they're gonna pull out and they're gonna put 30 or 1,000 new pieces into that store. So every 30 days, they wanna rotate the inventory. I see a couple problems with this, other than the fact that now, Macy's and JCPenney gets to make a piece of merchandise that they don't own, and so they don't have any cost in it. And again, Thredup gets to sell stuff without having to pay a lease or rent. One, I don't think it's gonna bring in quite enough people. Yeah, some people will be interested, and maybe for a couple of months it'll be like a fad type thing where people are like, oh, let's go see what's at JCPenney or Macy's. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna bring that many people in. And the second is, if you've got consumers in a region who are already buying from your website because they can just log into their computer, remember, bring up Thredup, and then go in and shop to their heart's content, why would they get up and go into the mall? Who cares? Why am I gonna get up and go fight traffic, go fight people at the mall to go look at the stuff that's on the website that I already shop at, because you use the data points to figure out that everyone in Miami is buying from Thredup. Well, we're already buying from your website. Why do we need to go into the store to see it? Like, to get instant satisfaction because we don't have to wait for it to ship, you know, or because you have 1,000 pieces in JCpenneys in Miami, but you have 100,000 pieces on your website. I think that they're not thinking this through. I think Thredup is being genius. Like, hey, they get a brick and mortar for free, essentially, just cutting off a few percent to give to the stores. But JCPenney and Macy's are so desperate, and it's so obvious, I can't even tell you. Most of the analysts that saw this story have already said, yeah, it may help them, but there's no way it's going to save them. They're still going to end up going out of business. So there's a great story about this that I'm going to link. It's down below. At Business Insider, and I'm going to jump over there. A great young lady who writes for Business Insider wrote this story, so let's go over to my computer. I'll show it to you, and if you want to read along or you want to check out the actual story afterwards, you can use the link down below to find it. All right, here's the Business Insider article by Bethany Byron. Retail experts, again, are agreeing that Macy's and JCPenney not going to be saved by Thredup. 100% agree with that. We can come and scroll down through Bethany. She wrote actually a pretty long story on this. It's really good, so I highly recommend you click the link there and go check it out. It mentions, again, 40 stores at Macy's and then 30 at JCPenney. They had a numbers call, an investors call, and they announced it this week. So we keep scrolling down. It mentions, again, the founder and CEO of Thredup, James Reinhard, says that each store will be curated and based on the searches to that desired area, meaning they're tracking the sales in those cities, and they're going to put the right kind of merchandise in the right kind of store. So every store will have different items. So what you have in one city won't be what your friend has in another city. Keep scrolling down. Keep scrolling down. And they said that they are trying to figure out a way to get newer, younger buyers to be excited to come into their stores that are like old and boring, you know, 100-year-old mall stores. But I can promise you that is not going to do it. There's no way. Now, this is interesting. Jonathan, and I think it's Traber, CEO of offer management platform RevTrax, which I've seen before, said it's a move to capitalize on the booming resale market, the secondhand resale market, which is expected to reach $51 billion by 2023. That's huge. So those of you that are wondering, is the resale market dying? No, it's actually growing every year. So another piece of good advice for those of you that keep saying, oh, resale's over. No, it's far from over. Now, people said it is a smart move, but these 100-year-old stores are not going to be saved by it. Definitely agree. They all dropped 2% and 9% in sales. And you can keep scrolling down and see the whole story that Bethany wrote over this, everything I just told you. It's pretty cool. You can see inside of a Thredup sorting facility when you send clothes in. Check that picture out. It's pretty awesome. Look at all those clothes. They're all hung up on racks that rotate. What are they? 1, 2, is that 4 levels high? It looks like it's 4 levels high. I can't really tell, but 4 levels. They have millions of pieces of merchandise and inventory. Thredup got really, really big in the last, I'd say 3 years. So you keep scrolling down, and Bethany closes it out here. These stores trying to optimize on more traffic, trying to differentiate themselves. The more people will want to come back, and getting people to come back is the most challenging part. Yeah, that's not going to work. They're going to go to their computer where they have more option and more convenience by sitting in bed shopping rather than having to go to the mall. Going to the mall, in my opinion, is kind of like a chore. It's something you don't want to do. I don't know if any of you that watch me go to the mall either. I'd love to hear in the comments. But anyways, there you go. Please go read Bethany's story. It's linked right here, and I'll put it down in the description box. Also, yesterday, if you're on my email list, if you're not, please do get on my email list. But I sent out an email. I have spots available for August into September, and they are for the full mentoring and video call training, one-on-one video calls with me. That is going to be linked right below Bethany's story. There's a couple spots. Again, I don't have endless, unlimited amount of spots because of the time it takes to sit down and do those calls, but I do have room for a few people. I put it out in the email list. I had a few people sign up, and so I still have a couple spots. You can grab that below, but make sure you do it quickly because once the calendar fills up, it will go gray and you won't be able to get it, and you won't be able to sign up for those video calls. The training package is always available, but the video calls, the very special one-on-ones with me, are only limited until they fill up, so use that link. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one.